Hello and welcome to Rev Scores. I am Manav Suthar and alongside me is Devashish Sen. Welcome to the post-lunch live show presented by the IDFC First Bank. And what a dream start it has been for Team India. Obviously, if you look at the start of the day, adding just 2 runs to the overnight total, the pair of Prasid Krishna and Kuldeep Yadav. But keep aside that the way they started with the new ball, Mohammed Siraj striking on his second delivery of the first over and then getting Nishan Madushka, who scored twin 50s in the 3-day practice game against the same opposition. And then it was Manav Sutar coming as a first change bowler, taking 2 wickets, wicket of the first delivery. Kuldeep Yadav getting the important wicket of Kamindu Mendes, the batter who averages most in this test lineup of Sri Lanka. And then at the fag end, at the stroke of lunch, it was the experience of Ravindra Jadeja getting the better of Dhananjay De Silva. A brilliant catch by KL Rahul. India's fielding has been overall has been very good. 99 for 5 is what Sri Lanka has managed at lunch on day 3, and it has been a very good start. Devashish, was the ideal playing condition. Sun is out, no rain, good start, and then the way Mohammed Siraj started, that delivery was looked like it was unplayable for Nishan.
I think to start the day, I think that was a psychological ploy from the Indian team management to make the Sri Lankan wait because they did not declare because we were all assuming that their declaration will come right at the start of day 3, but that wasn't the case. Indians obviously they did not last long because Prasid Krishna got out, but that 10 minutes break, their Sri Lankan openers were running to the change room, getting themselves changed. And I think that has sort of worked psychologically against the Sri Lankan team because the second ball that Madushka faced against Sriraj, he just nicked it and got out. And then, since then, in the ninth over, first time the spinners was brought in, Manav Sutar was brought in from the 14, and he immediately strike. But what Sri Lanka will be praying now is those dark clouds now because we have seen there has been showers, but Sri Lanka will badly hope for some rain. If they are to save this, which is improbable at the moment, it looks like Sri Lanka is definitely going to lose this test match by the end of day 4. But only thing that can save them, perhaps from embarrassment, is those dark clouds. If they can play a spoil sport on day 3 and day 4, only the match can be stretched to day 5. But nonetheless, I think India should see themselves as favourites to win this test match and go 1-0 ahead.
Definitely 5 wickets in the first session. India are definitely on top. 99 runs. Yes, they have scored 99 runs in the first session. Scoring rate has been good. But if you look at the wickets column, that's where Sri Lanka are down and out. Now it all comes down to Sonal Dinusha and Niroshan Dikwela, the only last recognized batting player for Sri Lanka. But let's talk about India's bowling. Obviously, the way Mohammed Siraj started, this was expected from him. In the absence of Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammed Siraj, leader of the pace attack, first delivery was very good. The way that particular delivery that lifted off the surface and it bounced extra, it hit extra. And Siraj, we were speaking in the morning show as well. Siraj knows these conditions, although he hasn't played Test cricket in Sri Lanka before this Test, but he knows these conditions. And the understanding of these conditions is helping him never.
And the fact that the Indians did play that 3-day practice game also helped. Because obviously, in fact, on day 4 of that practice session, all the 3 fast bowlers were rested, but Siraj, he had a fair idea. In fact, all the Indian players had a fair idea about the conditions. See, people might say that this was not a many times to acclimatize, but those 6 days of practice, I think that worked wonders for India. Obviously, they did train here at the Gao International Stadium for 1 day, but I think Siraj has started coming of age. As the leader of the pack, we saw it in England. He delivered without the likes of Jasprit Bumrah. I think he is well established. He is no more under the shadow of Jasprit Bumrah. It's time that Siraj has started taking the onus on him, being the premier fast bowler of the Indian team.
And because Siraj is there, because of what he has done in the past for India, we all remember that England tour. As Devashish rightly mentioned, he has come out of the shadow of Jasprit Bumrah, at least in Test cricket. He's a proper workhorse and even on a wicket where Sri Lankan bowlers were failed to make most of the new ball. Just look at the first spell of Mohammed Siraj, how he bowled. He was so accurate with his line and length. And Nishan Madhushka, he scored 250s against the same bowling attack. But that was not full tilt Siraj. Siraj didn't bowl full tilt in that game. And for the first time when he faced the full tilt Siraj, he got out.
He faced the music.
Yeah.
He faced the music because clearly the Indians did not go in with full tilt as Vaibhav mentioned. Because obviously that intent clearly showed in every each and every Indian player. Be it Shubman Gill, be it the other players, they were pumping, they were backing each other. Even Yashasvi Jaiswal in the earlier in the first session, he, he, he did a brilliant fielding and threw at the stumps. He missed out by a whisker. Immediately, all the players, be it Dhruv Jurel, Rishabh Pant, everyone started coming towards him and backed him at the pad. That is that eagerness. That is obviously they also know that before the rain come and play a spoil sport, we need to rattle the Sri Lankan and we need to bundle them out. And that already the half the job is done. Sending five of their premier batters in the heart. Now, obviously, the finishing act. This is one major concern for the Indian team.
Yeah,
it is the lower order that has troubled the Indian team. It's obviously, but I assume for Vaibhav that won't be the case.
That
Obviously,
won't be the case, yes, because the way the wicket has been playing so far, their spinners are getting a lot of runs. These are quality spinners. These are quality spinners. Just look at Ravindra Jadeja, Manav Suthar, the way he started, obviously Kuldeep Yadav. All three bowlers are early into action. All three spinners have got wickets in front of them. The only bowler who has been wicketless, unsurprisingly, to us has been Prasid Krishna. He was given two spells. First spell was the longest spell of 5 overs, and then a 2 over spell later on in his second spell, 2 overs. But again, Prasid Krishna again was he bowled well in the first 2 overs, but after that again, which has been the case in his career so far, he goes off his length, off his lines, off his plans, and that's where batter scores also.
yeah, Vaibhav means obviously we mentioned in our pre-show as well that there is a bit of a healthy competition going on around Gurnur Brar and Prasid Krishna. The team management will repose their faith on Prasid Krishna, but I think he also will realize because wickets are paramount. You cannot be in this Indian team without picking wickets. Yes, there will be time when, despite bowling at the right areas, you might not get wicket. But at times, that has been the biggest problem for Prasid Krishna is his inconsistency. And once again, he started on a good note, but so far wicketless. But I still see, I mean, obviously, let's not be harsh and criticize Prasid. His skill, the first innings is not finished. He might just come back and just finish off the tail. And that is what the Indian team management will be hoping for.
That absolutely, because see, there is still 5 wickets to be taken, and then 10 wickets again. So you still have 15 wickets to be taken. And sometimes when a bowler doesn't start well in his second spell or third spell after the break, he gathers himself and bowl with new plans. He comes with a new strategy. So maybe it could be the case with Prasid Krishna. But let's talk about the star of the session, Manav Sutar. Was brilliant yesterday with the bat, scored those important runs at number 8, and today wicket of his first delivery. And who better than Dinesh Chandimal? Dinesh Chandimal, the most experienced batter of this batting lineup. We all remember the innings that he played at this venue against a very good bowling attack, very tricky condition. Dinesh Chandimal, a class batter, was in form as well in West Indies tour as well. The way he first delivery, and was a dream left arm delivery. He just drifted in and then pitched in from the middle, turned away with a little, even for somebody like Dinesh Chandimal who has played a lot of test cricket, he could have done little to avoid that edge.
I think that has been the biggest takeaway from the Indian team. You have a spinner. There were talks of a left-arm spinner. Obviously, now that Ravindra Jadeja, we know he is at the fag end of his career. Kuldeep Yadav, but now we also have a Manav Sutar. So the Indian team management have the luxury. That is the reason Manav Sutar has been persisted with. And I think India has found a very an able left-arm spinner who can go on to play for a long time, especially in subcontinent conditions. he can be your go-to bowler. Yes, the New Zealand series and also the series against Australia. Mark my words, the series against Australia will just be the make or break series for Manav Sutar. He can, means obviously there are already high hopes on him, and he has already showed signs of brilliance early in his career.
Just look at the confidence the captain has. You have a Ravindra Jadeja, you have a Kuldeep Yadav.
That is the reason
Two
you have
of
got
the
ninth over.
exactly two of your more experienced spinners than Manav Sutar. But who was your first change spinner? It was Manav Sutar. And the moment he was brought in, he did the trick. He got the wicket of Dinesh Chandimal, and in the same spell, he got the most informed batter of their batting lineup, Lairu Udara. Obviously, that was not a good delivery. It was a half tracker. It was put straight to the point. But again, that's what bowling form does to you when you are bowling consistently in right areas. At times, even your not the best of your deliveries gets you wicket. That's what happened with Manav Sutar on that occasion. But then came Kamindo Mendes. Kamindo Mendes again, a very important batter, averages 58 in Test cricket, has scored a lot of runs in the last 2 years for Sri Lanka. But Kuldeep Yadav, the way he started it, we thought it will be Ravindra Jadeja because there were two right-handers, but then Kuldeep started from the other end. He was the second change spinner. Kuldeep Yadav got the wicket of Kamindo Mendes, but what a splendid catch from Shubman.
Yeah, absolutely, and that to me was a brilliant catch from Shubman Gill. In fact, I was at the corporation stand. I was filing a story, and then from there, in fact, I couldn't send the picture as well that I took and from side on. But what an incredible catch! Even that in fact lifted the Sri Lankan in the stands as well. It was such the beauty about the Sri Lankan crowd is that they cheer. They are genuine sports lovers, sports persons. So I think, and the catches like this, they just spark the momentum of the
Exactly.
team, and that has and the captain hasn't scored much with the bat, but on the field, with his captaincy and with that brilliance on the field, I think it's only going to lift the morale of the team.
The most special thing about that catch is Shubman Gill is a right-hander. If you look at the catch closely, on close quarters, then you will see him diving on his left. Although he suffered a hand injury on the right hand at
Maybe he was saving the right hand.
saving the
Maybe
right
he was saving the right hand, and that's his practice. In fact, with one hand, Remember,
He practiced, and that's how practice makes you better. You obviously know that your right hand is your strong hand, but to take these catches, you need your both hands, command on both hands. That's what Shubman Gill did on that occasion with his left hand, diving towards his left, taking that diving catch off Kamindo Mendes again. Very important matter. But what a delivery from Kuldeep Yadav as well. Obviously, we'll talk about the catch because that was a sensational effort. But sliding it up, tossing it up, and then the ball drifting away from the left-hander, and it stopped a bit. That's why Kamindo just checked right it, and then it went straight to not straight. It went towards the cover region where Shubman Gill took the catch.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is what this wicket will all the more favor the spinners. There is everything. There is more turn on offer compared to what it was on day two. I think it's going to be even more challenging and difficult for the remaining Sri Lankan batter. So, Vaibhav, your guess? I am assuming that they will be bowled out. Sri Lanka will be bowled out before tea.
Sri Lanka is definitely getting bowled out in second session is what we think. Obviously, if a partnership builds between Niroshan Dikwela and Sonal Dinesh, it looks highly unlikely. Although Sonal is a very accomplished batter, he is a very good batter. But against this quality opposition, this quality bowling lineup, you see all the bowlers, apart from Prasid Krishna, obviously have got their tails up, and it's just a matter of one wicket for Prasid Krishna. He will also get his rhythm back. It's just about getting the wicket and getting the confidence, and that's how it will help Prasid Krishna. But if you look at the other bowlers, all the bowlers have their tail up, and that's where it will be very difficult for Sri Lanka from this point to survive the day, survive the session, forget the day. If they have to
Forget
they
the
have
day,
to first
survive the
survive the
session.
session, and maybe once they are done, when they are bowled out, then Shubman Gill will enforce the follow-on. Like we've been saying that they will only bat once on this wicket because see, this wicket has already started deteriorating a lot. It has already deteriorated a lot. We spoke about this at length in our pre-days in the morning show. But now, if you look at this wicket, it is now aiding spinners a hell lot. And this is where it will become much more difficult for the Sri Lanka batters because almost all the deliveries are turning, and all the bowlers are making it to turn. Even Ravindra Jadeja, the way he dismissed Dhananjay De Silva, he's not a big turner of the ball, Ravindra Jadeja, but now on these kind of wickets, he becomes very dangerous. He becomes very lethal. Now, for Sri Lanka to survive these three spinners, and then you have got quality pacers as well, it will be very difficult. So, Devashish, what's your prediction? How quickly they will wrap up? 1 hour, 2 hours?
99 for 5, 99 for 5. I guess Sri Lanka will be bowled out under 200 in the second. In the second session.
Under 200 is what Devashish has predicted. So let's see what Sri Lanka will be able to. Will they fight back much like they did yesterday, or it will be easy for India to bowl out Sri Lanka in the first innings and then enforce the follow-on? It remains to be seen what will they do. But yes, currently India are definitely on top. Spinners are bowling really well. Pitch is leading the spinners a lot, and it will be very difficult for Sri Lanka to fight back. So let's see what happens. We'll join you again in the post-tea show. So join us then, and for now it's a goodbye. Thank you for watching.